Hello, beloved sisters. I am here in the forest by this beautiful creek where only locals come we try to keep the tourists out as much as possible, but we are in the middle of the forest, and this is where we come to be in communion with the waters. And I just walked past several sisters on different rocks who are nude sunbathing, and I noticed a sign that I have never noticed before, and maybe it's been there before, but to enter this kind of nature sanctuary, you have to walk through a gate, and there was a sign on the gate that says, if you have children, please make sure to watch out for illegal nude bathers. And then it has like a whole code thing around, if you are nude, it's called indecent exposure, and it's a misdemeanor. And if you expose yourself to anyone under 15, it's a felony. A felony. A felony. I'll say it 3 times. Whoa, like mind boggled. In the middle of the city, like I get that, absolutely. And like out here, that sign is so out of place and such a just a vestige of like a whole other way of thinking and being and living that is deeply rooted in shame and deeply rooted in fear. As I'm here to come, be in communion with nature in the waters in my naked body with incomplete, reverence for all life, especially for children. And so practices like mirror gazing, yoni gazing, full body worship, body oiling, we really can't underestimate these practices and their revolutionary nature to not only change our lives, but to change the world. Hands down, period. That's the message of this video. I imagine living in a world where there's not shame around the naturalness of our bodies, our animal bodies, and it doesn't have to be automatically sexualized when someone's naked or nude. I was in a Kali temple last night at a tantric temple, and so much there that I will share and unpack in our future gatherings, but one man said to me, there's like a dancing and like meditating, and one man said to me, and people do say this to me regularly at ecstatic dances, like, wow, you're so free. And I had a whole like drop in with him he was sharing, he owns a company, he like has a lot of responsibilities, he has a very strict, rigid schedule, he doesn't, go off his schedule, he has a need for control, like whatever, the same old shit, right? Like, I know it. And yet he had stepped outside of his comfort zone to come to this place of expression. What I shared with him and what I got from that interaction was like, wow, I totally remember that place. And, more and more I'm unfolding that place in my life over this is a lifetime's work, right? To unpack the wounded masculine culture in which we live. Through our own bodies and through our own life and through our own experience. But my main experience in interacting with him was like, it's so much better on this side. Like it's so, like the more layers that we shed of shame, the more layers that we shed of restriction and repression, and like it has to be like this, and this is what life looks like, and this is what abundance looks like, and this is what my body is supposed to look like, and this is what aging is supposed to look like, and this is what being a woman is supposed to look like. The more that we let go of what we think something is supposed to look like, the more that we let go of who we think we are, who we think we should be, especially, keyword, shooting on ourselves, number 1 sign, you can just toss that out. But the more that we release, shed, let go of, and deconstruct those ways that we think life should be, the more fucking freedom we have, and the more present we are. And the water is such a powerful ally for getting rid of that, like just being out in the waters and clearing and cleansing those ideas of who we should be. The shame that's inherent when we think we should be anything, right? and how all of that is packed into our relationship to our bodies. So again and again, I'll just say, like, body temple alchemy, like the body part, it's not arbitrary. We can get to the soul. We can get to the emotional body. We can get to the spiritual body. We can get to the collective body through, it is radical to love your body. It is radical to see your body nude and to love it in the mirror. It is radical to massage yourself with oil and to say, I accept my body exactly as it is. It is radical to love your thighs, your breasts, your wrinkles. Like, it is fucking radical, and it changes your life. It changes our life. It changes the world. And honestly, it's just so much better on this side. It's just, I mean, there's just more freedom and happiness and joy and connection and pleasure and less less wall separating us from other people. Authenticity is the number one most magnetic quality. Authenticity is the number one most magnetic quality. Let me just say it again. One more time. Authenticity is the number one most magnetic quality. That means people are magnetized to you. Opportunities are magnetized to you. Money is magnetized to you. Nature, experiences of freedom are magnetized to you. I came to this path because, a lot of the reason I came to the more embodied path was chronic pain and healing chronic pain and becoming a healer then of other people's chronic pain. And it's just always been like this for me, and it is like this for you too. Whether or not you know it, is the body is always playing out the dramas of the psyche and the soul and the karmic clearing that we're here to do. And, anyone who doesn't acknowledge the connection between the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, is just not paying attention. Like, and is just disconnected, and that's fine. Like, we're all in different places, but we grow, up level, and expand in, spiritually and emotionally. We can do that through the physical body. We can do that through our relationship to our physical body, even through injury and healing injury. Yeah, especially, perhaps. And so to wrap this all up and tie it all together is a sign like that and a culture like that, that demonize and shames the physical, the human body in communion with nature. And that actually is creating a separation between humans and nature, reinforcing that separation between humans and nature, is a culture that is denying the connection between the body, the mind, and the spirit. No surprise, And yet, the new paradigm is upon us, and you are a leader in that paradigm. You are a leader in that paradigm as a woman, coming back into your body, coming back into communion with what's true, coming back into the felt sense of your truth, coming back into the felt sense of what's happening inside of you. There's nothing more powerful than that to change the world and to change the ways that we think about what is healthy and natural. Because it is a culture that hides and shames the body. That is a culture that creates child pornography. A culture that hides and shames the body is a culture that creates rape. A culture that hides and shames the body is a culture that creates deeply repressed people that end up shooting up schools. And this has implications for everyone in our culture, our children. This has deep implications for us just in the way, in our day-to-day, like happiness and joy and connection and authenticity. So thank you for being a leader in this paradigm with me. And I'm going to go get fucking naked by this beautiful stream and say a prayer to the water and thank her for your presence in my life. And let me know, how are you in relationship to your own nudity, to seeing your body in the mirror and to loving her and seeing her as the goddess and acknowledging her sacredness and acknowledging that she is your home and that she is the stage upon which the unfolding of this game of your life, this karmic soul journey of these many lifetimes, she is the stage upon which this cosmic internal play is occurring. Honor her, love her, touch her, tell her she's doing great. You are doing great.